Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing how I made these baby clothes organizers, and these are so fun to make for baby gifts. And if you want to see how to make these, then just keep on watching and subscribe if you're new to my channel, and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos. I post once a week, and let's just get straight into the video. The first thing that I'm going to do is upload a digital background, and I bought an airplane digital background off of Etsy. So I'm going to click on upload and upload image, and then I'll hit browse, and you can see here's a few. It came in two different folders. So here's a few of the digital backgrounds that I bought, and I am just going to and then here's the other one. So I'm just going to double click on this one, and I'm just going to do 6 different backgrounds. So I am going to click on complex and continue, and then continue again. And we are going to be doing a print and cut for this project, so I am going to save it as a print and cut, and you'll see if you don't, it's just a black, just like a black square. So I am going to save this as a print and cut. Okay, so then it shows up here underneath our uploaded images, so I'm going to click on this and insert the image into design space. Okay, so then I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller so it's easier to look at this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is upload some shapes to make it look like the organizer that I have. And I had my husband help me with measuring it, so I have all of the measurements already. So I'm going to click on shapes, and I'm going to do a circle first. And then the size I'm going to do for it is 3.313. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is get another circle, and this one is going to be 1.688. So now we have the circle that we are going to put in the middle of this other circle, and I'm going to slice it out. So the first thing you want to do though is you want to select both of these, and you can see on the side on the layers panel that they're both highlighted, so you know you have them both selected. And then you want to go up to a line and select that and hit center. So that'll move it right in the center of that circle. So while you have both of these selected, then you want to click slice, and then you'll slice that out of there. So then I'm going to delete these little circles, and then that cuts out a hole right there. So these baby organizers also have a little slit down the center, the bottom center of it. So I am going to go to shapes, and I'm going to find a square. And you want to make the square into a rectangle, so to be able to do that, you need to unlock it. And then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And for the width, this is 0.25. And I'll leave these measurements down in the description box so it'll be easier to find these. So I have that to what size I need it. So I also want to center this, so I'm going to select both of these. But this time I am going to select center horizontally, and I'll just bring it right in the center there. Okay, so while I have both of these selected, I will slice this as well. So then I can just take these out of here, and then I'll just hit delete for these. Okay, so we have our shape that looks like the baby organizers. Next thing we want to do is we want this background, we want this to be this background. So I am just going to kind of line this up where I want these little airplanes to be. So now I want this to be the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over here, and I'm going to kind of line it up over some of these little airplanes so that those show up on here. So I'll just kind of line it up like this. And then I am going to select both of these. Usually when I select both, I just drag it. It just makes it a little easier, but you could have hit select all up here. So now I'm going to hit slice again. And then I'm just going to move this out, and you can see we have it right here. So then I'm just going to delete these. Delete. Okay, so we have our image here. The next thing we want to do is we want to have little labels at the top that'll say which month it is, and I'm going to make this one the newborn one. So I am going to select text, and I'm going to be using Times New Roman. So I'll select that one, and this first one I'm going to type newborn. And I don't want a big space between the letters, so I am just going to go up to letter space and move them closer together. And then the next thing I want to do is have a little square or shape to go over this. So I'm going to go to uploads, and I found this one here that I liked. I tried a few different ones, and I like this little round rectangle. So I'm going to select that and hit insert image. And I'll try to find the link for this. I just Googled round rectangle. But the only problem with this is I want it to have a white background, and you can see here that it doesn't have that. So this is how I did it. There might be an easier way, but this is kind of just how I made it work. So what I want to do is I'm going to select shapes again, and I'm going to grab a square. And then I am going to slice these as well. So I'm doing a lot of slicing with this project. So I'm just going to move this to the back, and I'm going to select both of these, and then I am going to slice again. So then I'm going to take these out here. I'm going to delete this one. So then I want to contour. So I'm going to select this because all I want is just this center rectangle. So I want to get rid of this square. So what I'm going to do is hit contour. And then I am going to get rid of both of these. And you can kind of see it's keeping the center one. So I'm going to erase these other two, and I'm going to hit my X. And you can see I have just the center, so that I'll be able to put it over this. So I want this to be a white color, so I'm going to change it to white. And then this, I'm going to keep this gray color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this into the center, and to make sure it's perfectly centered, I'm going to select both, and then I'm going to hit align and center. So then what I want to do next is I'm just going to select both of these again, and I'm just going to group them together for now so that I just kind of keep them together, and I am just going to make it a little bit smaller so it'll fit right over this. And actually I'm going to zoom in a little bit because it makes it so much easier to look at it. So I'm just going to kind of move it in a little bit. I'm just going to make it 1.1, and then I'll just make all of them that same size so that they all match. So then I also want to center this, so I'm going to select it all, and then I'm going to align and center horizontally. You don't want to hit center because it'll go in the center of the image. So I'm going to hit undo on my keyboard, and you want to center it horizontally. Okay, so I have all of that centered. Now I want to put newborn over that. So I'm going to change this to that same gray color instead of black, and it shows up saved on here. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller so it fits into my little rectangle here. I want this newborn to be at the front, so I am going to hit move forward, and my letters, I might move them a little bit further apart. They look like they're really close to touching there. And then I'm going to make this fit. I'm going to move it to the front again. Send to front. Okay, so I'm going to put over my square here. I'm just going to make it smaller. Okay, so you can see that this piece here is set to a print thin cut, but these little rectangles in newborn is set to cut, and you can see that on the layers panel here it says cut, and we don't want it to cut it out. We want this to be all print thin cut. So what I'm going to do is go up to the top here, and I am going to click where it says no fill and click print. And then I'll just select this next one and hit print again, and then select this one as well. So now they're all set to print then cut. I might make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's basically it. That's how you put the whole entire organizer together. So that's just one of them. I am going to make 6 total. So then the last step that is extremely important that you need to do is you need to select all of these and flatten it. So you're going to select your whole entire thing. So you have all of your layers highlighted and you want to click flatten. And it'll put it all on one layer here. And you want to do that before you make it. Hit make it. So I have this one done and I'm going to make 5 others. So I'm going to do those and then I'll show you how those look and how I do these on my machine. So I created another one of these with a different background, the same way that I did this one, but there was a couple things that I wanted to show you. Okay, so for this rectangle label here, what I want to do is just duplicate it so I don't have to redo that whole thing. So I just flattened this, so what I want to do is unflatten it. So I'm going to select it all and hit unflatten. And before I make this, I'll have to make sure that all of it is flattened. But I am going to select this, and you can see over here, it's the center piece and the outside piece. And I am just going to hit duplicate. And then I'm just going to slide it over here, so that'll make it a lot easier. And then I'm going to undo. I'm going to select both of these and I'm going to hit align center horizontally again. And then for the text, I'm going to be writing 0 to 3 months. So I'm going to type 0 to 3, hit enter, and type months, which I probably should do a capital one. And when I do this, it has a really big space in the center of these, so I do not want that big of a space. So I am going to go to line space and I am going to make that smaller. Okay, so I have that a little bit closer together, and then I'm also going to go to alignment and hit center. So it'll move it right in the center there. And then I'm just going to move my words a little bit closer together also. So I'll go to letter space and move those just a little bit closer together. And then I'm going to change it to a print again. And then I'm just going to move this right over my label. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I'll just move it over here. And I think I'm going to move my letter space a little bit closer together. My newborn is at 0.4. So I'm just going to go to 0.4. I might make it a little bit bigger. And then I also want to make this that same gray color. So I'm going to go over to my color box and change it to that gray. And then I'm just kind of eyeballing this to see, make sure it's in the center. So I also want to show you that you can select this and hit duplicate as well. Do that, and then I'm just going to turn it to like a plain color. And then now you can bring it over here and I can center this. And then I'll select these and hit slice. And then it'll make it easy. You don't have to keep making these shapes every time. You can just duplicate that, and hopefully that makes sense. And actually, I'm just going to move this to the side because each background that I upload, I'll just use this to slice it out. And hopefully that is making sense. I have all of my baby organizers done. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that each one is flattened. So I'm just going to select this one. It says flatten on the side here. So I am actually just going to, I don't think this one's flattened. So I'm just going to select all of this here. I'm just going to hover over it and then I'm going to hit flatten. And then this one, I haven't flattened this one either. So I'm just going to select these and you can see they're all highlighted over here, and I'm going to hit flatten again. And now you can see that every single one of these is flattened. So the next thing I'm going to do is just click on make it. Okay, so it looks like it put these on 3 different mats. So then I am going to hit continue. And the printer I have is an Epson Workforce 435, and I've had this for probably 7 years. So I've had this printer for a really long time, and it actually works really well though. So now I'm going to click on advanced options, and what you want to do, you want to keep the bleed on, and what I like to do is go to advanced options, and to make the quality of the image look a little bit better, I'll show you what I like to do. Okay, so this will pop up, and I like to go to preferences, so I'll select that. And then right now it says text and image. I want to do best photo. And I feel like that just gives it a better quality looking picture. So I'm going to select that one, and then I'll hit OK. So then I'm going to hit print, and then I'll just show you on my printer how this prints this out. I'm using 8.5 by 11-inch white full sheet labels that I bought off of Amazon. I'll link these down below, and they are basically a full sheet of white sticker paper, and they are a matte finish, and I'll show you a little later how I gave these more of a glossy look. I place these in my printer and it'll start printing it out, and I get a lot of questions on what type of printer to buy, and I recommend any type of inkjet printer that has a rear feed tray. Here's what it looks like after it prints. Okay, so it printed this first one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the second one, and then I will hit send to printer, and I'm just going to double check and make sure that it is on best photo. Okay, so I'm just going to double check the preferences, and looks like I need to switch it again. I'm going to hit OK. Let's see. And then I'll hit print, and then I will do the same thing for the next one, so I'll just print these last 2 off. And here they are all printed. Everything printed, it will pop up with the second step, that is to set your material. So I like to use the washi tape setting for my stickers, because then it just peels off the top part. It doesn't go all the way through the backing. So the washi tape is my favorite setting to use for stickers. So I'm going to select that, and then I'll show you on my Cricut machine how it cuts these out. The Cricut will cut out all of the baby organizer designs. I'm using closet organizers that I bought at the Container Store, and I will try to find these and link them down below. I peel off the sticker, which next time I might try a different setting. The stickers came off, but there was a couple spots that were just a little tricky to peel off. Then I just lined the stickers up on the organizers. I started on one edge and brought it around. It was a little difficult to match it up perfectly, but I just set it down and picked it up a few times until I had it where I liked it. Here's what they all look like with the stickers on them. It's difficult to see it in the video, but I didn't really like how they had a matte finish, and I wanted something glossy, so I decided to cut out glossy sticker paper to place over it, and I'll show you how I do this in Design Space. Okay, so for this clear sticker paper that I am going to cut out and put over my design, I am going to hide all of these except for one. And then what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to unflatten this. I'm just going to delete this, and I'll delete that, and then now I will do a no fill. So now I have just the cutout of it. So the next thing I want to do is duplicate this, and I am going to want 12 of these. I decided that I also wanted to do the back of these organizers as well. So I am just going to duplicate these so that it makes 12. And then I'm going to click on Make It. And it's set to a 12 by 12. I want to switch it to an 8.5 by 11. Okay, then I'm going to click Continue. So I have my dial set to custom, and I'm going to click on Browse All Materials. And the setting that I'm actually going to be using is the flat cardboard, which is really weird, but I did so many test cuts and this is the one that worked. And I will show you what type of material I'm using after this. So I'm going to click Done. And then I'll show you on my machine how I make this. I'm using Silhouette clear sticker paper that I found at Joann's. I ordered clear vinyl off of Amazon that I wanted to use, but I did that last minute before my sister's baby shower, so it didn't come in time, so I bought this instead. And I'll link the vinyl that I bought off of Amazon below. And they do sell glossy printable paper that you can use to have it print off on, but the Cricut Explore Air has trouble reading those registration lines with that glossy paper. So there might be a way around that I'm going to try soon, and I'll let you know if that works. But for this project, I just used that matte printable paper, and then I put clear sticker paper on top. I peel off the clear sticker paper, and this is what it looks like. I place the sticker paper over the organizer, then I use my finger and scraper to press it down and get the bubbles out. Here's what it looks like with that glossy look, and I just love the glossy look so much better. I add the rest of the clear sticker papers to the organizers. And here's how they all look. These are so fun to make, and they're great gifts for moms, or if you're a new mom, these are great to organize your baby's clothes. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new to my channel. Have a great day.